Thank you very much. I know, and I'm very sure that when most of us saw this particular male-female interactions, you were wondering, there is there's very much curiosity concerning it. So we are going to be talking about the realities of male-female interaction. This is the first part of it. Later in the afternoon, we'll go to the second part of it. That's another level altogether. We don't have enough time, so without much ado, we just jump straight into the whole show. A man is not born. A man is made. I think when Brother Richard was talking, he said something in relation to the same thing. To be a man, it's not something that you are born as a man and automatically become a man. It's something that you develop and you grow into a man. What makes a knife a knife? You can have two knives and say this knife is a better knife than the other. You understand where I'm coming from? It's the sharpness of the knife that will qualify it more as a knife. So what qualifies you as a man? How can you look at two men and qualify one as more of a man than the other? What's the criteria for that? Is it by their height or their male organs? What exactly qualifies a man as a man? How is a man made? It's like a breaking in of a horse. You know, horses are not just, you don't just go and pick one and just all of a sudden it starts moving with you up and down. Each one of them has to be trained and broken in. They are very strong animals, but they have to be broken in before you can sit on them, because if there's a fresh horse which is just growing, that's not been broken in yet, it will throw you off. So it takes an amount of time the horse is broken in so that its energy can be channeled into something profitable. Because although it's very, very strong, until it is broken in, it uses its strength how it wants. It's very rebellious and does what it wants. That is how a man is made. To be broken in is like, it defines the Hebrew word that is used for meekness. The Bible says that Moses was the meekest man that ever lived. And the meekness means that all your energies are channeled, all your strengths are channeled into profitable use. So as a man, you can be very strong, you can be very intelligent, you can be very creative, you can have all that vigor and the zeal, but what is it being used for? Is it being used for doing anything that you want, rebellious? No. A man is like a refining of gold to make a man. It passes through a lot of pressure to create something valuable, to purify you, to purify your character, to make you a better person. So it's a process. It doesn't just come by you sitting there and growing. For your physical growth, you grow physically. As time goes on, you enter puberty. As you are eating, you are going up and down. But when it comes to your mental growth, your spiritual growth, your moral growth, your strength of character, you are responsible for it until it's worked on, until you are broken, until you are refined. It will not happen. So that's how we can say this person is more of a man than the other. It's like a building of an edifice. It takes time. After you build the first floor, the second floor is more difficult, the third floor is even more difficult. What do I mean by that? It's not that it's take over material, but you have to climb, you have to use scaffold, and now the blocks will have to be carried up. So as you are growing and becoming a better man, it takes more effort. It takes more strong will. It takes more effort and energy for you to become better. And that's why people give up. It's like a growth of a tree. One time I went to a man's house, and there was this big tree there. And under the tree, I saw a small, one of the seeds fell on the ground, and it started germinating. It was very, very small, like this. The stalk was very thin, like a broomstick. And look at this, wow. So this big tree there, was that where it's coming from? I was trying to imagine how something as small as a broomstick could grow and become that much big. But that is growth. Growth is a constant thing. As we are giving birth to, between our life and our death, we grow. As soon as you stop growing, you are dead. You have to grow. Even if you are growing old, you reach a particular height, you are not growing height, you are still changing, you are growing. The cells are constantly dying and being replenished. Without growth, you are dead. And that's why when you're a baby, your parents are proud of you. As soon as maybe you're able to say dada or mama, they say, wow, everybody's happy in the house. When you are crawling, all of a sudden you start holding things. Hey, the child is growing. Growth is something that we look forward to. You understand where I'm coming from? Nobody says that, oh, and the child has tried so much, now he's crawling. First, he wasn't able to crawl, so even if he cannot stand up, it's okay. Let's clap for him. No, you are expected to grow. Are you growing? Or because at that particular point in your time, your growth was being more. The time comes that now you have to still grow. Are you the same person you were as you were 3 years ago, 5 years ago, or you are growing? Are you growing? Because without growth, you are essentially better dead. You are wasting God's resources. Because God didn't bring anybody here to just come and eat and shit. You are just polluting the world. You're not bringing anything good to them. You are just defecating and urinating and eating. You are consuming valuable things and just defecating them out to dirty the earth without bringing anything profitable. After you die, you are no more because of this man. Can something like that be said of you? Otherwise, you are basically wasting God, and God is going to lash you. I always say, people think I'm joking. No, God is going to, because if God has really created, just imagine you've created a machine, and the machine comes every time it's messing up, it doesn't really do anything, you cannot switch it on. You get angry with it. Why do I even do this machine? That is how useless some of us are. In the Jewish tradition, when a young boy grows to a particular age, the father takes the boy, puts on him a cloak. It's called the robe of a man. The boy picks up all his toys at the age of 12. All his toys and all the tokonkro that he has been playing with. Carries them, puts them in a bag, holds them, and his father walks the boy straight to the temple. The boy gets there and drops all those things at the temple, and that's the end. It's a transition from boyhood to manhood. And from then on, the boy is under his father's care, no more under his mother's care. He has to learn his father's profession, and he's now growing, and he's being trained as a man. Unfortunately, we are living in a current society that there's no such transition. We are left on our own, and we are expected to excel as men. And we are failing, being feminized, being weakened, aimless, no purpose. Because to be a man is a conscious thing. It's not something that's left to chance. No man has ever been created by chance. Or no man rather has ever been made by chance. It's something that has to be worked on. It takes pressure, it takes refining, it takes breaking in, it takes a building, it takes growth. This is why men are not growing. It's unfortunate. To be a man is to be responsible. God, in the book of Job, God told Job, after Job has made all his complaints, and God came in. In the opening passage that God started speaking to Job, he said something. Brace yourself like a man, because I have some questions for you, and you must answer them. To be a man is to be responsible, is to brace yourself. That brace yourself is to gird your loins. In the olden days, you know, they wore long robes. The robes come straight. It's like the clothes that the Muslims wear for prayer. So when they are on their farm, or all of a sudden enemies intrude them, you have to gird your loins. You lift the rope this way and tie it around your waist. Because if you are just walking with it, you cannot fight with it. That is what it means to gird your loins. You tie them so that you can defeat on you, strengthen it. Then you can now stand as a man and fight. To be a man is responsible. The level of responsibility that is expected of you as a man, even biblically, is not expected of a woman. Do you hear what I said? If you look at the book of Numbers, chapter 30, if you go home, go and read that whole chapter. I just paraphrase some part of it. It says, if a young woman makes a vow to the Lord, and she's still living with her father, if the father refuses to let her fulfill that vow or pledge, on that day he hears it, then the woman's vows and pledge become what? Invalid. They don't hold. And she's forgiven for that vow by God himself. These are commands that God was giving concerning relationships between fathers and their daughters, and husbands and wives. And the same thing was said about husbands and wives, that if a man gets married to a woman, and the woman has made a vow or an oath before the marriage or even during the marriage, and the man doesn't take it, then it becomes invalid and the woman is forgiven. But it went on when it came to the husband and he says something. He says, if the husband waits for more than a day after he's heard that this is the vow that the wife has made, before trying to nullify it, then whatever punishment that there is for that vow, the guilt is on who? The man. That's the great responsibility that's on you as a man. You are so responsible in saying that if your wife messes up, you are responsible for it. To be a man is not a joke, and it comes with a great responsibility. God created us as men and women. We are sexual beings. There's nothing wrong with being a sexual being. The Bible says that male and female, He created them. And we cannot ignore it. We cannot make it something dirty, brush under the carpet, or pretend as if it's not be talked about. It's God's own doing. And this sexual being that we are manifests and is very, very important to us. Because I'm sure that for most of you, one of the topics that really intrigued you is the male-female interaction. Because whenever even church or programs, whenever you hear of programs like men, women, that's where people come a lot. Relationship talk, whatever. We are intrigued by it. This same issue of male-female is the cause of some of the greatest agonies and some of the highest ecstasies in our life. When you fall in love or you come to like a particular woman, or you fall in love with a woman, the kind of joy and experience it gives you. At the same time, if your heart is broken too, that kind of depth it sends you into. Almost nothing in this world can send you to that depth, and nothing in this world can send you to that height. That's how important the male and female we are created is important, relevant. It's a great driving force in our life. Most of the things that, like my brother was saying in the beginning, that men do is because of women. The motivating, most of the men that up and down here in a man. Male and female, He created us. But I want us to talk about the curse in Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. Remember that in the Bible, after the fall of Adam and Eve, God placed a curse. What is that curse? Genesis 16 says something. Then God says to the woman, I will sharpen the pain of your pregnancy, and in pain you will give birth, and you will desire to control your husband, but he will rule over you. Another version says that He said, I will make your pains in childbearing very severe. With painful labor you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. I want to mention something here for us to understand that particular verse in the Bible. The word for desire that was used in Genesis 3 verse 16 is teshuka. And that word is a desire to control, not a desire to have strong feelings for. The same word was used in Genesis 4 verse 6. When God was speaking to Cain, He said something to Cain. Why are you angry? Your face is downcast. If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you. It's eager to control you, but you must rule over it. You see the parallel there? So, sin desires to do what? To control or take over. That's the desire was used there, was teshuka. And that same word was used in Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. That desire, God was cursing man and woman. He wasn't blessing anybody. If the desire that God was writing there was a desire to have feelings and strong feelings and desire for the man, then God was essentially blessing the man. Won't you like it for a woman to be so submissive and love to submit to you? The meaning of that word is that desire to control the man, and that has been the desire from the beginning of the days of the earth. Are you getting where I'm coming from? The relationship between man and woman, God cursed it. And that curse was that the woman would desire to control the man, and the man would desire to dominate the woman. And that's why we have problems in relationships up to this day. And marriage is so difficult. So difficult. A disharmony was caused. God's initial plan before the curse was that woman will willingly submit to man, and man will lovingly lead woman. But after the curse, what happened was that woman will rebel against man, the natural disposition to rebel, And man will have that domineering spirit. That's the natural man and the natural woman. To lead woman with it, hey, I'm the man in the house. What do you mean? I told you this. You see? And the woman will also rebel. But Shall say, that is the case. And that is consistent with reality. Woman was made after man, from man, and for man. Biblical. Was woman not made after man? Look at what the book of 1 Corinthians 11, verse 7 to 8 says. It says, man is made in God's image and reflects God's glory. And woman reflects man's glory. I'm not speaking from the Quran. That's why I told everybody, bring your Bible here. You know, the problem we have in the church is that the church is not preaching the Bible. We have become so afraid of feminist agenda and so afraid of certain things that we are covering things up. And the things that we think it will not bring offering, we don't talk about them. The things that are more, yes, that's the things to talk about. Those things that bring people who like that. So we are letting the world enter the church because the church cannot stand firm and speak what God is saying. For the first man did not come from woman, but the first woman came from man. I'm telling you, go and say this at the church, you have caused trouble. It's an insult. Meanwhile, it's not an insult, it's the truth. Did the first man come from the woman? No. But you yourself know what I'm talking about. If I go and say this somewhere, it doesn't sound right. It sounds misogynistic. That's how sick we are now. Since the first man came from, when the first woman came from the man, but the first woman came from the man. A man was not made for woman, but woman was made what? For man. Let's look at other verses in the Bible. Woman was made after man. It says, for God made Adam first, and afterward he did what? Is it true? What does it mean? When you're in the house and you were born as the first child, and 5 years later or 3 years later, the second child was born, there's a relationship between the two of you. When father or mother comes home and something is not right, who will be asked? That's why when God came, he didn't come to Eve. Although he knew very well the role that Eve played in the fall. He said, Adam, where are you? To be a man is to be responsible. Like the firstborn, like the Bible says, Adam was the firstborn of all creation. You are the firstborn. And something is special from the firstborn throughout the Bible. If you read the Bible, you know what I'm talking about. The firstborn has a big responsibility and he has certain privileges he enjoys. It's spiritual. So the man had to take that leadership role, that responsibility role, because he was created first. Woman was made for man, and not man for woman. The book of James chapter 2 verse 18 says, the first one was 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 13, but this one is James chapter 2 verse 8. It says, it is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper who will just be right for him. What does it mean that woman was made for man? It means that woman was made to come and help man. So a man has to have a mission and in partnership with his wife attain that mission. That is the biblical blueprint. That's where submission comes from. To be under a mission. Submission. A woman was made from man. The Lord made woman from the rib of man. James chapter 2 verse 22. Which means that man and woman belong to each other. And we need each other. Contrary to what incels will say, or the MGTOW community will say, or the MRA, or whichever of those communities will say. Contrary to what masculinists or misogynists or feminists will say, men and women are complementary and were made one for the other. When we sing together, it's beautiful. It just fits in perfectly when the woman's voice comes. When we live together in a community, women are drawn to do certain roles, men are drawn to do certain roles, and it just fits perfectly. God made us that way. In the garden, something happened. God, before the creation of woman, asked man to name all the livestock. You know what naming means? if you give birth to a child, who names the child for you? You name your child. Why? It's a sign of authority. If I go and buy my car, I can name it whichever name I want to write on it. God is able. You can name your house God is able. I think there's a building at Tetteh called that. If I go and build my house, Ablo cannot come and write a name on my house unless you go and hide somewhere. Are you guys where I'm coming from? Because I have the authority. That's why when a man gets married to a woman, the sign of authority and submission for the woman is the surname that the man places on the woman. But unfortunately, people don't understand. People go through marriage counseling classes and all that, and they come out and they are still asking, why should I take my husband's name? Because, like, we've sat down, we'll get there. I don't have as much problem with some of the behaviors or the rebellion of women or the weaknesses of female nature as much as I have with the weaknesses and the insincerity and the cowardice of men. So what happened in the garden? So God gave man that authority. God never told man to name the stars because the Bible says that God counts the number of the stars and he gives name to all of them. That's his domain. Something happened. And God created woman and brought woman. And when man saw woman, he was so excited. Literally said, wow! The Bible said he exclaimed, at last! This is bone for my bone and flesh for my flesh. And when we read the Bible, that particular part was poetry. That was the first poetry we see in the Bible. Being romantic. And man said she will be called woman because she was taken from man. So at that particular point in time, man did not name her, but gave her a name. He put her in a category in relation to himself. To name something, if you look at the Hebrew language, all names of animals say something about the animal. That's the function or the role that animal plays. So if I see a cat, maybe a snake, the name will suggest something about something that creeps. You see what I'm talking about? But in this case, Adam did not name her, but called her something in the category in relation to himself because he was all emotional. Let's look at what happened. Between that, then chapter 3 came, and the mess up came. Look at what happened there. The Bible says the woman was convinced. She saw the tree was beautiful and its fruit looked delicious, and she wanted the wisdom it would give her. She took some of the fruit and ate it. Then she gave some to her husband. The Bible says that what? Who was where? In the house? Under the bush. Who was where? With her. That means the Bible told us that Adam was standing there when the snake was speaking to Eve and he shut up. And that's why we fell. I'm not reading the Quran, I'm reading the Bible. Neither am I reading, what do they call them? The Buddhist. No, I'm reading the Bible. The man was with the woman. That's where male cowardice and emotional nature comes in. We are so in love with the woman so much that or yet begin to meet. You cannot stand and take your authority as a man and speak. When people want to sell something to you and they come to your house, who do they come to? Your wife. Because women are easier to deceive. A man will stand up and try to make unnecessary arguments. Oh, women, as soon as they see the shiny and they just fall. They'll just fall. But as a man, because they know if they come to you, you try to reason things out and try to, Dabby. You see that kind of thing, they will not come to you. If Adam had spoken, the fall would never have happened because he would have questioned. And he knew better because the original commandments were given to Adam. But because of emotionalism, Adam just was there and he ate it just to please his wife. But let's look at what happened in Genesis 3, right after the curse of between 16 there up to 18, 19. The Bible says that Adam named his wife what? He realized his fault and his mistake that he messed up by not naming the woman. The Bible is consistent, it teaches us consistently. He named her category and he gave the reason that because she will be the mother of all who live. Not categorically, but specifically. It's an exercise of authority as at from that moment. We'll talk about more things. The Bible says it was not Adam who was deceived by Satan. The woman was deceived, and sin was the result. This is misogynistic. I'm being sarcastic in this case. Okay, so much time has gone already. I have about 72 slides, and this is my third slide. I hate it. So much to talk about. I had to remove so much from you before I came here, but let's see how far. Wherever I get, we'll take it there. So let's look at some random things. A difficult thing for a man to accept in his life is that he knows absolutely nothing about women. Ego makes men stick to what they think they know because a man wants to be right in what he thinks he knows. I think my brother in the first talk was mentioning some things in relation to that. Ego, pride, arrogance. We think that if a madman, if you are going to cross the street and you look and you're going to cross the street, all of a sudden a madman stands just mad. He's wearing all his clothes, his hair is, and he sees you and says, "Hey, a car is coming." Would you look? And when you look and you see the car, would you cross? So let's take now I'm a madman. I don't know anything. I'm going to say some things here. You are going to question them. I found difficult standing here now because some of the things that I'm come to say here, some of you have been feminized so much that you find it difficult to accept. And some of you challenge me because you say, "Meneka it's chef on us, they care na kind." But I'm going to say them. And take me as a madman who knows nothing and who is not qualified. If you see the car coming, cross. First, now say that be righteous. Man, be righteous. Most of the difficulties we face when it comes to our interaction with women is because we are not righteous. We are very insincere. You know what you want from this woman. You know you want to be in a relationship with her. Instead of going straight to the point or trying to stand up for what, if you think you cannot do it, it's okay. But no, you don't want to be righteous. You'll be playing passive aggressive. Oh, it's okay. A job will cry, okay, it's okay. Disrespecting you and you just want to be seen as if it's normal. And she will not respect you. She will not respect you. Do you know what is equivalent to beauty? When you as men, when we see a woman, we see beauty. It be it an inner or an outer beauty. It's beauty that we admire in a woman. The Bible says that the beauty, we should wear an inner beauty. In the book of 1 Peter chapter 3, it was encouraging a woman to wear an inner beauty like in the old Sarah did. It comes from a gentle spirit, submissiveness to a husband, and all that. You see, it's an inner beauty. But we also admire outer beauty. Do you know what that beauty is in a man? What a woman sees in a man that she's called beauty primarily is the man's strength. Your inner strength is what will make a woman see, you look at a fine. That's what a woman sees, that is a guy. Yeah. That's why a man can actually even be physically not appealing, but by you girl. Because what? He has strength. What matters in a man is strength. I'm talking about emotional strength, financial strength, physical strength. Whatever the strength is your beauty. This guy who was always boasting. The story about this guy was always boasting. Oh, me. Then he got married, and his wife, one day his friend went to visit him and he was washing his clothes. And he said, he had no fault today. Because he could not stand his wife. We are so pleasant, accommodating, lenient, fake. Then when we are expected, we become so resentful and bitter. If a woman wants to be your friend, then she better be a great friend. If a woman wants to be my friend, then she has to better be what? A great friend. The same expectations from a male friend I expect from her. There's a difference between a whore or a prostitute. There's a time whore and a sex whore. What do I mean by that? When a woman is called a prostitute, you are basically talking about her giving a body. But male prostitution is when you are giving your time. That's how women prostitute you. Because what you have as a man is your time. Let me give you the illustration like this. It's just like a man going to a woman and saying that, young woman, you know what, I want to sleep with you. Then after I sleep with you, I'll take this girl out and spend money on her. Will she take it? I will sleep with you and leave. Every time I want to sleep with you, I'll just call you and sleep with you. Anytime I want any sexual encounter. After that, there's this particular girl I want to be going out. I want to be going out with this girl, spending my time on her. The same the woman is telling when she puts you in the friend zone and says, I'm going to mess up and give sexual attention to this particular guy. But you, anytime I want someone to come and paint my room, come and paint my room. You're a time whore. Respect yourself and be sincere, because you're in a position, you don't like the position you find yourself in, but you are so cowardly that you cannot speak out. I will skip some of the things. Never worship a woman's beauty. Never. You know what worship means? Worship means worship. W-O-R-T-H. Ship. That's the original word. But as time went on, it lost its sound. The original word is worship. This is how much you are worth. So when we say worshiping God, we are saying what? God, this is how much you mean to me. This is how much you are worth to me. You are the love of my life. You are the hope that I cling to. You mean more than this world to me. I couldn't trade you for silver or gold. I couldn't trade you for riches untold. You are my everything. It's a worship song. This you are saying, God, this is what you are my everything. I cannot trade you for silver or gold or riches untold. This same song, a man can sing it to a woman, is perfectly fit. That's what love music is about. I'm not saying you shouldn't admire a woman or listen to a love music. What I'm saying is that, what is a woman worth to you? Is she worth so much that when she disrespects you, you take it as it is? And you think that, oh, it's emotion. Oh, if you know convention, it's a bull and it's disrespectful. So I hate her, okay, appease it. It's worship. You are trying to say that this was what I'm trying to say basically is that you are worth insulting me and me just taking it as it is and moving with it and acknowledging it and even apologizing for you insulting me. Man, you have to have the right attitude and the right mind. As a man, when you are young and you are growing, you start from a very, very low point. 18 years, 19 years, 20 years. You are not seeing mouth. You are now coming up. You don't have money in your pockets. You are just trying to strive to get somewhere. You don't get certain privilege by merely being a man. You have to fight towards it. But you reach somewhere as a man and you become more attractive. Because now you have what it takes. You are entering your 30s. You are now financially secured. You have your own this. You have your own that. You become very attractive. A woman doesn't start from that direction. A woman starts very well. 16 years, 17, 18 years, very beautiful girl. Very nice. And she's getting attention, she's getting privileges because of what? Her beauty. You go to the same place today and she'll get that attention, she'll get, you see where I'm coming from? And she gets so many privileges, but as she's growing, by the time she reaches that particular age that you are about to go up, she's doing what? Coming down. Because what? She's losing her youth and what? Her beauty. That's why you have to be what? Wise as a man. If she can admire you for what you are, or want to be who you are, then she'll be willing to be whatever you want her to be. To women, image is more important than pleasure. To women, image is more important than pleasure. Women are very much concerned about their image to the extent that they would rather choose their image than pleasure. If your wife knows that you are going to judge her for who she is, she will not let you know who she is. Let me bring it down. Like I said, I'll say some things that you see I'm not qualified to say, but I'll say them. If you see a madman, like I said before, and he tells you that don't cross the street, then you turn your eyes and see that what he's saying is true. A car is coming, oh, minute, second, cross the street. There are many women who are married, and because they have certain naughty sexual fantasies, but their husband will not do that. Or their husband will, they know their husband says, or the husband will look down on them because of that. So they will not bring it out. Inside her, she's not happy and she's not satisfied. But she's so much concerned about her image and the possible shame, such that she will not sacrifice that for her pleasure. And she won't cheat on you. Move beyond beauty to benefit. Emphasis on beauty is a sign of usury. If you're a man and you've been with a woman before, and the woman was very beneficial to you and to your growth, and you're moving with her, it's not all about mobile money. I want you to buy pizza, and it's not all about that. It's that this woman, you were with her, and you're like, no, this woman is different. It changes your perception on your selection of a partner. It should not be solely based on beauty, but benefits or a helpmate. Any man who is so obsessed with beauty without any sense of any other thing in a woman is a man who is used to usury. That's being used. I guess where I'm coming from. Anyone understand what being used is? Your money, your car, all your everything. The only thing that they do for you as a man is to make you visible. Listen to what I said again. I said your money and all your possessions in this world, and your PhD and your profession, they just make you what? Visible. But they do not make a woman desire you. You are your best campaign. I said you, whom you are, is your best campaign. That's why you see a woman moving with a particular guy. The guy is useless, he doesn't have money, but she will be rather the one taking out her money to go and take care of the guy, because the guy was his best campaign. She's seeing strength that you do not see. You are weak. Because inside of you as a man, as in your work, independent of your car or your profession, you are not a man. That's why she has seen a value. Just like when you see a beautiful woman, you want to please her. She sees something, and she sees the man's value or his market-based value are so high that she thinks she owes him. If you are moving to a woman and the woman looks down on you and she doesn't respect you and says, "Wana bought the name, Wana you true," that means she thinks that your marketplace value is lower than hers, so you have to pay. That's the only thing it means. So there's no other excuse. You can roast it, fry it, cut it into pieces, bake it. That is it. She doesn't respect you. Because when she thinks that her marketplace value is higher than yours, as in, feel like she's making a chain size, no matter your amount of money that you have, your profession or whatever, you are not a man because you're your best candidate. I say are you a man, your emotional capacity, your strength, what you are actually as a man is what makes you a man. The possessions make you visible. If she doesn't admire you, she cannot desire you. If she doesn't desire you, she cannot admire you. And if she doesn't admire you, very soon she'll be tiring you. Move beyond beauty to benefit. A woman should be contributing in your life. You know, God made women as helpers. When a woman is in your life and she's not helping you, you can easily lose her. When she comes, let her do something. And they want to come in. That's the number one reason why men lose women. When a woman is helping you and she's contributing your life and you are winning, she feels proud and she feels that she's in a winning team. Women don't want to win, they want a winner. That's what I'm trying to say. They want a winner. And that's why they will constantly test you to know that you are still a winner. She wants to be part of a winning team and she wants to make sure that she wants to feel as if she's also playing a role in it. She's not a trophy, she's a vessel. Relationships are about expectations and demands. You have to have them, but they should not be unrealistic. What do I mean by expectation and demand? A teacher and a student, there's a relationship between them. It's expectation and demand. A teacher expects that when he gives you homework, when you come to school and you don't do your homework, he will say, "Why didn't you do it?" Because he expects homework. And he demands certain things from you. The same way, the student also demands that a teacher comes to class and teaches. That is every relation, be it mother and father, husband and wife, teacher and student, parent and child, buyer and seller. You know, you expect that when I give you my 2 CDs, you give me Gary 2 CDs. If you're going to give 2 CDs and a person gives you sugar 1 CD, you say, "Oh, add them," because you expect and you demand. You have to have expectations and you have to have demands. I wish you go further with this one, but no, I'm on my third slide. Very unrealistic. Okay, so let's talk about male nutrition. I intentionally brought this one up because I think it's very important. Male nutrition, what do I mean by male nutrition? Everything that grows needs food. A child needs to breastfeed, after that, start eating small, and start growing. If you stop eating, you will not grow, you have to die. A plant needs nutrients to grow. In the same way, in the relationship between a man and a woman, there's a need for a nutrition for both the male and the woman. What is that nutrition that a male gets from relationship that makes the relationship grow, or that makes the relationship keep on going, that sustains the relationship? Within the man's fulfillment, both emotional and social fulfillment, what gives him confidence, what gives him dignity and self-worth, motivational level to be motivated, what gives him status within his male collective, is wrapped up in the nutritional factor of his relationship with and association with women. That's what we call female validation. You know, when you wake up this morning and go to the bathroom, you know that you're a man. Because when you're bathing, you saw that you had a penis. But somehow, we men need women to validate or confirm us. Of course, you can go out and learn law books or medical books and become very good, have knowledge, go to also go and hide somewhere, go and do some of the things. You can very well as a doctor, even some of the doctors, more than a doctor, but you're not a doctor. Why? Because you don't have certificates to validate you to show that you're a doctor. You cannot go and ask you can have all the skills for some, maybe you're a good carpenter. You've learned this one, but you don't have that certificate to show it. That's what I mean by validation. That confidence, that stamp. Men need women to give them that stamp for approval that you're a man. And that's why in Burma, Jimmy's hand. I guess where I'm coming from. Most of the things that men do is because of that need for that validation. And the more naive a man is, the more obsessed he is with that female validation. The female validation defines the stature of a man in the male hierarchy. Amongst your male friends, the guy who is good with women or whom women like the more is more respected. Constant and perpetual competition for this finite and coveted commodity. It legitimizes a male within his gender and in society. Failure to secure this validation openly will result in a diminishment and dismissibility of the male, even through male shaming of each other. And your hierarchy will fall. Much of a man's identity comes from female validation. Self-confidence, motivational level comes from it. How he values himself and categorized within society. That's why a man is shamed in society because he's not in a relationship. Why? Because in society's eyes, it means that you don't have female validation in your life. So the magnitude or the amount of female validation that a man gets defines his station amongst other men. That's in terms of the frequency of it he gets and the variety, the different kind of women who validate you. And it all comes from being desired by a woman. I remember a young woman told me a story about her. She said one time she was walking with a male friend on the streets at the university. And all of a sudden, she's a very beautiful woman, well shaped. Another guy was coming up, the guy saw them and was like, "Hey, Charlie, you make lucky pow. See the fine girl fine, or that kind of thing." And the guy walked away. But all of a sudden, they saw that the guy was running back towards them again. And he said, "Charlie, chiam me," and just was trying to greet the guy. He said, my home, it means there for 2,000. Oh, why? You see, that is. So, you want to strive to meet that criteria. It's not just something, you can have all manner of validation. You can build a house. You can have 3 houses and 3 cars. You can have everything. You can be the president of, but all those things, all the validation make you feel like, yes, I'm an achiever, I'm doing something in life. They do not replace female validation. That's why rich men, no matter how rich they are, that's what makes them more womanizer. Because they need that part of feeling like a man. It's connected. That feeling that a woman can do anything for you and is submissive, it cannot live without you. It's validating and it feeds a man's ego. If female validation is absent, sex means nothing. Prostitution, rape, masturbation, they are void of female validation because it does not involve the female desire for the male. If you pay for sex, you are denied to procreate, protect, and provide. That's why I'm saying that woman was made from man, and men and women are created in such a way that male and female, he created them, they are not independent of each other. It's just like going through the physical side of sex without emotions involved. There's no nutrition. That's why when a man finds himself in a marriage with his wife, and his wife does not desire him, his wife is not submissive to him, he's lost. Because he's not getting food. I guess where I'm coming from. He's not being fed. It's not just men want just sex. Sex is a part of female validation. What men ultimately want is female validation, and sex is just a subset. That's what will make a man just want to do something for a woman because she's beautiful. And the mere fact that he was able to do it for her, he feels validated. It's like a spell. If you don't take care, it will make you a slave. Okay, this one is especially for the very young ones, but it's for everyone. Choosing signals. 101. So we're just going to give you a basics of choosing. What's choosing signals? Choosing signals are the signals, we are talking. I want us to talk about, you started from somewhere, but some others, I want us to talk about practical day-to-day things that we meet. We are talking about male-female interaction. So choosing signals are the signs that a woman gives a man that she has chosen him. So what I will say here is that there are different levels of interest or female interest in a male. And when the interest level reaches at least a 70% interest level, a woman is very likely to give a man some choosing signals. Women are really obvious. They are very subtle. Rarely approach. And whatever they will do, because of the fear of shame, they will try to make it fit into the ordinary. If they cannot make it fit into the ordinary, then they will revert into some primal signals. Are you listening to what I'm saying? So if she cannot do something that she will not be accountable for, that she cannot explain away, then she will revert to more basic default mode. What do I mean by that? So these are some of, there are many of them. If you're going to talk about this, I will take so I just wanted to just brush over something. Some of them could be the way she's going to look at you up and down, the smile, the itch. What do I mean by the itch? I don't know if I should talk about this here. Eye contact, the group look over, the touch, the lustful hug, the rub and squeeze, the snatch up and smooth, the lip play, the display. I will just speak about 3 of them. So what do I mean by the rub and squeeze? The rub and squeeze is about not just touching you, but rubbing the hand over you. And it's an emotional state that a woman finds herself in, to rub her hand. It's like consoling her own self, not you. So she's found herself in a position where she's emotionally having some affection or attraction towards the male, and she's consoling herself by rubbing of the male. Or that squeeze is her trying to tell you that she wants to feel you. They are primal things. Are you guys where I'm coming from? Okay. I don't want to talk so much about this one. Okay, yes. Maybe another time. So okay. But at the end of the day, the question is that what is she choosing you for? Is it a genuine choose, a manipulative choose, or no interest? So usually it can be that a woman can choose you basically because she's genuinely interested in you, or manipulative choose where you put yourself in a position where you've gone to a woman, the woman is telling that, or she's making you know that she's not interested in you, and you're trying to force your way into it and saying that, oh, I'll do this for you, I'll do that for you, I'll do that for you. And you say, okay, then I accept. You see where I'm coming from? So it's a manipulative choose purely or solely based on what she's going to get out of the kind of relationship that's, or no interest at all. Some of the things I'll just click on them because I want to get somewhere. Okay, so I'll talk about this one too briefly, because our time is really going. So there are levels of female interest. What do I mean by that? There are different levels of interest that a woman can show you, and I'm going to rate them on a category of 1 to 10. If the amount of interest that a woman has in you as a man is less than 5/10, then basically you are either invisible to her or she's going to toy with you. I know I'm talking about these kind of things. They are important to especially the very young men. Or she's going to toy with you. So in this case, you have the attention whore who just wants your attention. She just wants to feel validated by the fact that you like her. So she might initiate a conversation with you, talk. Then as soon as you try to call for a date or try to meet her, then she will start giving you excuses, and you validate it. Then you know what happens is that then she will lie in her bed and laugh and say, look at this guy, he thinks this thing. So that she can also have that feel of the fact that she got you to want to go out with her or got you to propose to her. It's just that high, emotional high of it. You see what I'm talking about? So either you are invisible, or she'll give you that attention just for the fact that she's seen that you are interested and she wants to use you. Or there can be lower interest between 5 and 6, where maybe you've met a young woman, you are interested in her, you want to chat her, you've taken the number, she might give it to you because, of course, she feels that, oh, this guy is a nice guy. Then, now you try to call for a date or whatever, she'll say, oh, we'll see, I'll see. Saturday, okay, I will see. Or you are trying to talk to her, but it seems as if you are the only one making the conversation and there's no part of her getting involved in the conversation. It's like an interview. Then you can know that you are between 5 and 6. And it all depends on her options. If she feels that, if she's a very fine girl, she will not mind you at all. Really, because for that one, you fall under attention whore. But if she feels as if she doesn't have options and she might give you the chance, maybe she might meet you on the date for one reason. It's been long since she got someone to ask her out. So she'll come. But it's going to be an interview mode. Then 6 to 7, where she's getting a good amount of interest in you, but she's playing hard to get. She might start giving you some minor, small, soft choosing signals and all that. But now whenever something, then she's trying to pull back and all that. You are between 6 and 7. So there are levels of interest. Then you can talk about 7 to 8, where there's moderate interest. And 7 to 8, that's where you receive a lot of tests. We'll talk about tests. I hope we finish talking about tests before, at least tests before I finish. Very, very important concept. So she's going to test you severely. Women test men. I know that most men don't know that women test men. You don't even know that there's something called test. But a woman would like to know your strength and if you are capable, because she's choosing you as a mate and you are going to play a leadership role in her life. You see how important it is. Of course, if you're the one who is leading, it's a different case. You are leading her, so you don't really need to test her. You can build her and make. But you see, she is going to choose you to come and lead her or take a leadership role, a masculine role in her life. So she has to test you to know that you are qualified. So she's going to really test you. She will try to be disrespectful to you to see how you respond. You come and say, be fine, cry. She's testing you. She's trying to see what to say. If you're a weak man, you'll be like, oh, you are weak. You just want to impress her because you are so afraid of losing her. She just wants to play with her. She just wants to tell her to just, just something to just brush it off. That's all a woman wants you to do. Then you throw common tests, what flying colors. And this is a woman that you call and she doesn't mind. You don't. Those are the way women test. It's not. We'll talk about tests. I want us to rush through this. Then, if she has a good amount of interest in you, so 7 to 8 is like when we are fighting a war, and you are getting near to a capital city. You are getting near to a capital city. The war becomes very fierce. That's it. So they have to really test you. That's the most difficult part of female interest level. But what I'm saying here is that I'm not saying that you have to start from 5 or 5 to 6. A woman can meet you immediately. Her interest level in you is already 8 or to 9. I guess what I'm talking. I'm not talking about a step. So it depends. You can start from anywhere. So you can meet a woman that the interest level is already high interest, and that's when she pursues you, and she's trying to seek to please you. If you are not there and the woman is not pursuing you, don't stop deceiving yourself to a male ego. You are not getting anywhere. That's where Culturally, trouble. That's the only way that you can know that you are getting somewhere. I get one. Culturally, put about trouble. Which are one, get two trouble. She will initiate conversation. So let's see. So you see, I'm saying the criteria is one, initiation of contact. Is she initiating contact with you? Or a little dog, bonus no can first. 2, is she available? Does she come around? When you ask her that you want to go out, tell that. Does she come? Is she available for you? And 3, is she submissive and she's trying to please you? I'm talking about interest here. And 9 to 10, you cannot get there just. You have to, before you can get to 9 to 10, it doesn't just take maybe your good looks or whatever. It takes you being a man. When she sees strength, unwavering strength in you, that's the only time that you can see. You know, what I'm talking about is there are practical things. Don't you see that some women are there, you see them with their boyfriends or their husbands, you see that they have some deep sense of admiration for them. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. And look at the man that is living well, and you see that this man is a man. Just try to observe them for some time. It all comes from whom you are inside. I'm saying you are your best campaign. Your car will not get you there. As a man, the only thing you can be is to be a man. The interest level will determine how a woman treats you. It's like a difference between day and night. Okay, levels of female interest loss. This is one, it's for everyone. What happens is that when a woman is losing interest in you as a man, there are levels of the loss of interest too. 1, initially she used to put you first. Whatever you like, she will try to make way for you. But now all of a sudden, she's not putting you first anymore. She rather prefer to go somewhere else or do something else before you. Then there's lots of communication. She's not initiating contact anymore. And the way you used to communicate is not there anymore. 3rd, very important, there's no touchy-feely anymore. She's not touching you anymore. Women like to touch. So you are sitting in the sofa, she comes and she's not coming to sit beside you, but you are husband and wife, or he's showing you something, but you're not picking it. And it's because of something that is happening. And I'm telling you, just like beauty in a man is what, in a woman is what pulls a man to her, be it in or out of it. The strength in a man, that means you are showing a lot of weakness as a man. That is when that it starts falling. Are you guys where I'm coming from? Then it moves to rudeness and constant test and provocation. Daddy, baby. And she's trying to disrespect you. It's showing where you are now. Then in the case like I think Richard was saying, she doesn't want to sleep with you anymore. Because a woman to have sex with you as a husband is her submitting to you and you dominating her. That's a sex act. And if she doesn't see the reason why she has to submit to you because she cannot respect you, then the sex frequency will go down. Then she starts pulling back. Then the breakup. The breakup can be a psychological breakup, an emotional breakup, even before the physical breakup. In her mind, although you are there, you are not there. She's looking for her backup. And she's seeking other things, other places. Okay. A woman cannot handle having less than her. She wants to be able to look up to you as a man. Once a woman cannot look up to you, it's essentially over. What makes a woman proud is the fact that her man is cool. And her man is the man. And the man is achieving and getting high in life. You meet her, even the young girls you meet, want to go out on a date with. With time, she wants to know where you are in life. As time goes on, she'll be asking you, so, I can dance song, man. Maybe I'll ask you that time. She wants to know if you are going up. If you are winning. She's very interested in that. Even if at the beginning, maybe she likes you so much for your physicality or whatever, as time goes on, she'll start complaining. Because it's not in the nature of a woman to play that role. The problem with men is that we are very, very, very insincere. The modern man. We become so feminized that we are very insincere. We are seeing what is not right, but we cannot say it. Let me talk about this one. Okay, let me talk about this one rather. Women test men. I think it's very important. If you don't take anything away with you at all, at least for this one, you will take it. What do I mean by women test men? Let me give you an example. You are in class with your teacher. The teacher is teaching you very well. Maybe your math teacher comes to class, teaches you. Oh, this is today you're learning was logarithm, or you're learning sets. Comes to teach you all the topics, and now you finish Form 1. If you are going to Form 2, and the teacher comes to your class and asks, all of you, are you ready for Form 2? Who will say no? Or you finish JSS and they come to us, are you ready to go to secondary school? Which of you will say no? Everybody will say yes. So what I shall do? You are going to write BEC to see those who are not learning. That's why tests are working. Even God tests us. The Bible tells us that God tests us as men. Tests are very, 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 very important. And a woman is going to test you. If a woman asks you that, are you a strong enough man? Are you capable of taking care of me? Can you handle the challenge of life? Can you succeed in life? I even say, oh, me, no. I'm not a strong man. You don't tell her that. So she has to what? Test you. It's like you want to hire a bodyguard. And maybe you are wanted. You kind of president of a nation. And you know that, I need a very strong bodyguard. But someone comes and says, me, oh, I've not been trained as a bodyguard, but I want to bodyguard. Don't worry. As time goes on, I'll learn how to be a good bodyguard so that I'm a bodyguard. Will you take that person to be a bodyguard? So why should a woman take you when you are weak? So she needs to know that you are capable. So she's going to do what? Test you. How does she test you? The woman's test is designed to see where you, the man, stand on the social pecking order. It's basically the behavior of a woman's hypergamy. I don't know what to talk about, but hypergamy is basically her edge. She has a strong desire and edge to find the best man possible. I'm not saying something that is foreign to you. Women want the best man possible. So there are things that she's looking out for to see your increase. Like maybe your wealth, okay, you have this, you have that. Your looks and your physique, they could help you. Your social status, your respect, your posts, and all that, they could help you. That means you are capable. And your inner strength, are you congruent? Is what you are showing outside what is really inside of you. Your self-worth, your masculinity, your strength of character as a man. That's what she's trying to test for. And the problem is that most men cannot spot when a woman is testing them. What we do is we respond by trying to win the woman's approval. We are insincere. So maybe she just calls you and cancels the plans. You plan to go somewhere and last minute, or she comes very late, or that's something that if it were another male colleague, you'd have called the person out and said, "Oh, me no late. Okay, me no try me. Okay, me I get shit in there." Like I think the example my brother was giving about the girl who he did something for, and the girl didn't call to say thank you, so he told a friend. And when he told the friend, what the friend did was that the friend called the girl and told the girl, you have to call him. And he will talk about this, and you have to call him. So it's just a nice. He's just trying to make excuses. Instead of trying to point out the lady that you did something that was wrong, somebody called, you should have this and you have. No. He will play the devil's, how do you call it? He wants to play the good cop. And even the woman just sees weakness in you. That's what she sees. Basically, she interprets that as weakness. She expects you to call her out when she does something wrong. But when you do that, she will test if what is inside of you is what is outside of you. Because she has to be sure. So she'll act as if she's angry to see if you're going to apologize. Listen to what I'm saying. If you do not apologize and you stand your ground and no, I believe what I'm saying, I know what I'm saying. You should have called my friend and told him thank you. And he did the wrong thing. Later on, she will respect you for that. After that, when I asked you, I actually thought you would change of side because she was testing you. You know, you passed the first test by calling her out, but she has to test for your congruence, whether what's inside of you, what's outside of you. You're just trying to play as if you're tough. So she will try to throw a tantrum or act as if she doesn't like what you did, or she's just acting. She wants to test you. Are you guys what I'm trying to say? So she cancelled the plan, or that's something that you should have. Otherwise, if you were any other person, you would have called out on that person. But because it's her weakness, because what she sees is that if you cannot stand up to her, if you cannot stand up, and when she sees something wrong and you cannot stand up to her, then whom can you stand up to? Like you or Nyele. She, the woman, you cannot stand her when she's insulting you, she's doing something that's wrong, you cannot stand up to her. Then how can you stand up to any person in this life? She cannot beat you, you cannot stand up to her. How can you protect her when you are finding yourself in a situation where someone wants to bully her? How can you do that? That's how she interprets it. The thing about women testing is that they don't tell you beforehand that they're going to test you. You understand what I'm saying? It's not like a BEC, at least you know right from the time you enter Form 1 that you are going to be tested. In this case, there's nobody tells you. We just boom. So it tests you for whom you are. Because there's no time to go and sit down and prepare for the exams or for the test. So that's what I'm saying. As a man, you have to be what? A man. And you are your best campaign. Are you getting where I'm coming from? You have to be a man already. It's a building process. The number one thing that a woman tests you for is if you're a coward or you're feminine. That's the number one thing a woman tests you for. And the testing starts from day one and throughout, be it an erotic or platonic relationship. It's a shortcut to avoid certain guys in their lives. And it's also a way to know how much you can get away with. And when they test you and you feel it in your inside. Okay, let me tell you something. Sometimes you realize when you have an interaction with a woman, you feel as if I messed up. You can feel something. You cannot tell exactly how you messed up. You realize that you don't feel comfortable inside. Something, maybe an incident happened. Be it your a female colleague or your wife or your girlfriend, whatever. And you feel like no, something is wrong. Like you feel that power has shifted hands. You are tested and you failed. That's why you're feeling that way. You know, the spirit of a man knows all truth. The flesh doesn't know all truth, but the spirit sees everything. So the spirit man, if you are really connected with the spirit, the spirit man, when you are very sensitive to the spirit, you feel it that you messed up. And the more sensitive, the more you. That's why you feel that you don't know exactly what you've done, but you were tested and you failed. That's why you are feeling that way. Okay. Let me talk about this last. Do not let a woman's appearance or utterance be an interference with the truth about her. Say, don't let a woman's appearance or utterance, what she says, be an interference with the truth about her. You know, we are so much caught up in the text somewhere that we just equate beautiful woman with good woman. Then it just interferes with everything about her. As soon as a woman starts trying to tell her to me, and I have not done this before, and you just buy into it, and that's all. Of course, she's selling herself. Public relations. She don't go to that. So don't let her appearance or what she says, her utterance, be an interference with the truth about her. You have to know and learn what the truth is. And see her and as she is as a person. Not viewed under the spectacles of fantasy. Do you hear what I said? Like I think my brother was saying the first thing. Don't view her under the spectacles of fantasy. Women glorify what you exemplify. It gives them a license to respect or despise you. That's why I'm saying that as a man, you have to be a man. You know, she's following your leadership. And if she sees that you don't have integrity, she cannot respect you. Oh, she like it. And the truth about that is that a woman sees all your weaknesses. She sees your insecurities. Especially I'm thinking to those who are in relationships in man. She sees all your insecurities. She sees your iniquities. She sees all those things. She sees your strengths and your weakness. It's going to determine her attitude towards you. It's not going to be different from what she sees is what she's going to respect. If you are lazy, you don't have this spiritual life. Every time you are coming to pretend as if you are a pretender. And you expect her to she's seeing you for whom you are. How can she? But if she's seeing something, you walk the talk. Because what? You are sincere and you have integrity. She will respect you. It's not about you trying to live under the curse. I'm the man. No. If you want a woman to submit to you, what is she submitting to? What's the mission? You don't have a mission, or your mission is weak and it's aimless. You want her to submit to that? She cannot submit to you when yourself you are lost. You don't know where you are going. You want people to follow you. You're walking somewhere. You don't know where are you going. You don't know where you are going. So you expect a woman to respect you. You have to give her a reason. That's why I'm saying that you are your best campaign. If you think you can lure a woman into getting married to you, or into being in a relationship with you, with your possessions or your position or whatever it is, you find yourself in a situationship and not a relationship. She's in with you because of the situation, the car she will sit in and you go up and down, but it's not you. Because you are your best campaign as a man. That's why I'm saying that you build yourself, purify yourself like gold. Build your character, be a man of integrity, a man of character, a man who is assured of himself, and a man who respects himself and knows what he stands for, a man who is capable of leading, a man with a mission, a man who is winning. And a man who sees a value and a place in your life. Don't be like Adam, who categorized her purely based for himself and his emotions. So when the woman was taking the fruit, he was standing there and he didn't say anything because he was trying to all emotional. You have to name her specifically in your life. What is the role she's playing in your life? What is that role? In defense of women, whatever women are is largely good for men. I think I've explained myself away already. If women are not like that, by this time you'll be sitting in clay houses. You understand what I'm saying? Because men will not be motivated to do anything in this life. Because it will be too easy. I could be far back. But because women are like that and they seek, they expect that you have to have money. So you're going to fight for it. I'm telling you, the sex drive is a major motivator in most of the things that we do. They expect you to have it. They expect you to be at a particular level. So because of that, every man is at least striving to do something. They expect the best as possible. Okay, so I'm talking about vetting. So I'm sure that most of us trying to choose a woman or select a woman that will have anything to do with, be it a marriage or a relationship. We have to look out for certain things. What is she feeding on? What is she feeding on? That's what I'm saying. I don't let what the appearance or utterances be an interference with the truth about her. See things for what they are. What is she feeding on? If you eat sugar and you eat certain things too much, it will affect your health. It will show in your general well-being as a person. You are what you eat. When someone sees you, the person sees that you've lost weight. The person sees that. The person will ask you a question. Yeah, are you not eating? What are you eating nowadays? It seems as if you're not eating well. Why is the person seeing? Was the person there? No, because the person was there that there's something with what you are feeding on. What are her life priorities? Where does she spend most of her time? What kind of TV programs does she watch? What does she use her time for? What is she feeding on? What is entering her eyes, her ears? Whom are her friends? Does she have any relationship with God? How much time does she? Those are the things. Those are the things that she's feeding on. It's going to reflect on who she is as a person. What is she showing you? What is she saying? Her speech, her behavior. You are seeing it, but no. You are so enamored and imbued with fantasy that no. But what is she feeding on? What is she showing you? What are you seeing? Oh, you are seeing it, but you are giving an excuse for it, and you say you've not seen it. Are there contradictions? So I think I talked about why she wants your money. So she thinks she's doing you a favor by being with you. So you have to compensate by paying. So why does I think there are some common experiences that men have. But the problem is that all our stories are here. Our stories are here. They are stuck in our throat. Nobody's talking about his stories. But I know, I'm a young man. So I know some of us have experienced some very, very bad experiences. And we'll keep on experiencing them if we don't change. So why does she bring her friends on a date? If you told her, well, let's meet here. By the time you realize she's coming with 2 friends or whatever, what would you do? She's testing you. Do you have the fortitude? Hey, Asemaba. Do you have that strength to stand up and tell her that, young woman, what are these 2 people doing here? Can you tell her that? Somebody is giving excuses. Are you a man? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We are so weak and cowardly, and we call ourselves men. Common woman. Like, will she beat you? Will she hold you in a car? Or it's Al Shabab? You cannot call her out and tell her that no, this is your friend. She's testing you. She's testing for your level of interest. That are you so much crazy and in love with her that you take her disrespect and give excuse for it and just let it go? She's testing your strength. If you are congruent inside and out. It's not what I'm talking about. She's testing you. Stand up, you're a man. Call her out for it and tell her that no. Your friends have to go. You should be willing. If you want to play a game, you should be willing to lose. You should be ready to lose. Call actually to be a non-change. You have accepted that it's a possibility that one quick. If you don't accept that, you cannot be back in trial. Are you guys where I'm coming from? If you respect yourself enough, it's like the MTN. You cannot go to MTN office and go there and just do anything there and say, well, then they'll just accept you. They respect. So you need to pass through. You have to impress them. Are you MTN? Are you MTN? Or you are just some. When somebody is coming, you are now coming. You don't respect yourself. That's when you just are trying to call customers and you are pulling in it. Or Jimmy crowd. You cannot go to anything. Go to me call Jimmy Wall. Because they've reached a certain level that they have a sense of self-worth. Do you have a self-worth? If you respect yourself, certain things are there, you will never accept them. Are you guys where I'm coming from? You have to reach that level as a man, where you are accepting yourself, you know whom you are. You respect yourself and you have place value in yourself, that you don't let a woman's beauty, you don't let a woman's beauty or they just make you. The true test of your strength is the beauty of a woman. That's why maybe the more beautiful a woman is, if she's or Jimia, you don't want to, so you're trying to, so the level of it will test your strength. If it's not so nice, it's easier for you to say certain things. But if you say, you see what I'm coming from? It's a test of your strength. But if you are MTN and you have an abundance mindset and you know whom you are and where you are going, and you know her worth, the level of her worth in your life, there are certain things that you will not accept. She's testing your strength. Either she's trying to avoid any intimacy with you, or she doesn't trust you, or she's just bringing a friend for entertainment purposes. You pay. My brother, don't pay. Why do women flake? So, it's a sign of low interest. Flake means you call a date last minute, then she call you that on to me back. Or that day, you've reached a place, you're now calling her and she's telling you that, I am giving you excuses. Low interest, or she's losing interest. That's what you make her do that. Or she's testing you. Or she's playing a game with you, power game, to get you to submit. Or she's emotionally unavailable. Or she's going for the bigger, better deal. Because low interest. So another guy came into the picture and she says that no, this guy is better. So, you have me. That's what I'm saying. There's no crying. This is how things are. And it's your responsibility as a man to be a man. You cannot be the crybaby like a MGTOW or an insult. No. If you are a man, if you don't worry about this, you don't even see them. Because of your cowardice and your insincerity, that's what is affecting you. You are not real. You're not righteous. You are trying not to offend, no. Be true. This is what you want to do. You're trying to be guilty to do some things. For what? Okay, our time is up. Okay, let me say this last one. So why your friend's girl and your girl's friend give you choosing signals? Some of the times you see it happens a lot. Your friend, his girlfriend, or your girl, or your wife, her female friends, they are giving you choosing signals. They are giving you signs of choosing that they like you. It's not about you. It's about them. They are seeking validation. Let me give you an example. When your friend's girl gives you choosing, it's because she's trying to validate herself. If you can break loyalty because of her, it's a high validation. So just saying that Job is my very good friend, and I'm always with him. And one time, I'm with him and his wife is trying to give me some choosing signals. She's doing it because she's seeing the closeness between me and Job. And she's trying to see that, is this guy, am I so fine that he's willing to break, to betray his friend's trust because I'm giving it to him, to try to also return it. And when she's able to get it from you, it's a high validation. That means I'm so fine that even your best friend wants me. And if your girl's friend is giving that, it's because she's trying to have a one-up over her friend. Or if she's able to get her friend's guy to like her, it means that she's got something from her friend. I hope you're getting. That's all. That is 90% of the time. Don't buy into it and go into a possible scandal. Why show you she be going at me? I think this is what I'm saying. Why show you she got to the way she will go and tell her friend that this is what we're doing, or you go and disgrace your wife or your. You see what I'm trying to be wise. Don't let your ego get to you. What at all are you looking for from there?
Moisture.
Okay, thank you very much. There's so much I wanted to talk about. I'll have to skip. There are 72. We are now in the 30th one. I'll skip so many more. I think we don't have enough time. So thank you very much. And God bless you.